Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. It's been kind of cold and rainy here in Kentucky, and I've got a pot of really nice spaghetti sauce cooking back there on the stove. And before we eat supper, I thought I would go ahead and do this video for you of my triple chocolate cupcakes. These cupcakes are really luscious. They've got a great chocolate cake base. They've also got a white chocolate cheesecake filling, and it's topped with a luscious, wonderful cream cheese icing with lots of chocolate shaved into that. And who doesn't love chocolate? Cake batter is pretty classic and pretty easy to do. You've got 2/3 of a cup vegetable oil, 3/4 cup sugar, just plain white granulated sugar, 1 egg beaten, half teaspoon of vanilla. You can always throw those in together. And we're going to mix that up first. Once that's combined, you add a half cup of buttermilk and stir that together. And to this we're going to take our flour mixture, which is 1 cup of flour. You can use cake flour if you find it. I use White Lily all-purpose, which is really good too. In this there's also 2/3 of a cup of Ghirardelli unprocessed cocoa powder. You don't necessarily have to use that brand, but it's good to use unprocessed cocoa. And a half teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to put most of this in. And stir. Gently. Now that's all combined, so what we're going to do now is take 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 3/4 of a teaspoon of white vinegar. I'm using white balsamic vinegar. That's going to fizz up, and that's going to make them nice and light. I'm going to stir it together first. And then you want to put that into your batter. So I should help it along a little bit. Get all of it in there. And just mix that all the way through. Our batter's all put together, and now we're going to put it into our cupcake muffin tin with these beautiful cupcake liners. My husband picked these out. I just think they're adorable. So what you want to do is for each cupcake, this makes 12, this batter should make 12. I'm going to put 2 big tablespoons of batter in the bottom of each one. Now I've double lined these because sometimes this batter can kind of not really leak through, but it will show through. And these are so cute, I just thought that it would be fun to make sure that we got to see the pattern of it, since everything's all dark and chocolatey. So you just want to go through and make sure they all get 2, and then we're going to do the filling. I have all of the cupcake holders filled, and now I'm going to go in and do the filling. I mixed together 2 8-ounce blocks of Philadelphia cream cheese that I let soften, half a cup of sugar, 6 tablespoons of beaten egg, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, and 1.5 cups of white chocolate chips. And just mix that together, and then we're going to go with a big spoon full in each one, and just kind of let it drip over the top of your chocolate batter. Let it spread out. And this recipe makes plenty to do 12 cupcakes. You'll have a little left over, but you want to make sure you have enough in there. So it's a big heaping spoon. All the filling is on each one, and we're going to go back with 1 tablespoon again of the batter over the top of each one. So just grab it. You're just going to let it drop in and cover the top. And you just keep going until you have them all done. You might need to scrape the bowl a little bit to make sure that you've got enough for all 12, but don't worry, there's plenty there. So So every cupcake has a little chocolate hat, and they're going to go into an oven that's been preheated at 350. And 23 minutes is what it does in my oven. You'll need to check yours to make sure. You want to take them out and test them with a toothpick. You still want just a little bit of crumb to come out. Don't cook them until it comes out perfectly clean or they'll be overcooked. Here we go. Cupcakes are out of the oven and they've spent 5 minutes sitting on the counter in the pan. I then took them out, put them on a rack, and took that and put it in the freezer so that they would get chilled enough so that we could put the frosting on and be ready to eat them within the hour. The frosting is beautiful Philadelphia cream cheese. This is 2 8-ounce blocks, and to that I added 4 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of lard, which gives it the glistening kind of look and also lets it stand up and be pretty, and lets you pipe it, and we're going to show you that in just a minute. And we have 3 cups of confectioner's sugar and 2 teaspoons of buttermilk because you're mixing it through. And then, to make it one of the chocolate layers, I took 2 ounces of Ghirardelli 60% cacao chocolate and grated that with a fine microplane into it so that it gives it this kind of confetti look. It's wonderful because you get the chocolate flavor, but you also get the cream cheese flavor. If you just melted chocolate, you would only taste chocolate. This way you still feature the cream cheese. These cupcakes look great with a piped frosting. You don't have to have a fancy pastry bag to do that. This is a gallon-sized freezer bag. Now you want to use a freezer bag instead of a storage bag because you want the heavy duty. This is a piping tip that you can get at the grocery store. Almost all of them carry them in the cooking section. You want to just take a little edge off your bag and then put your pipe tip in and turn it inside out a little bit. Then you're going to take your frosting and just begin to layer it in there. And I like to just go ahead and fill it because a gallon-sized bag will hold all of this frosting. So once you've got it in there, then you want to just roll it around, squish it down a little bit, and then you're going to take your fingers like this and just put some pressure. You're not going to have to apply that much to do it. And I like to start on one edge, and there's plenty of frosting with this recipe, so you can give it a generous topping. And just come to the middle. See how beautiful that frosting is? That's just gorgeous. And you just want to keep doing that until you get frosting on all these delicious cupcakes. Now the best part of all, we get to taste one. As you can see, beautiful icing all around, lots of chocolate on top, the luscious cream cheese. So let's peel this back. Oh, you look at that. Look at that. That's the middle layer. It's awesome. Oh, look how pretty. Now the taste. These are so good. You got the chocolatey cake, that luscious cream cheese layer, which you can see right there, the cheesecake layer, the fantastic cream cheese chocolate frosting on top. So, so good. Very tender, very moist. These are so good, and I've really enjoyed doing all of the videos, including this dessert video for the Real Women of Philadelphia Challenge. I've also enjoyed being in the community, and I want to thank Paula Deen and Kraft, the makers of Philadelphia cream cheese, and I mostly want to thank my husband. I would not have done this had he not helped me and had he not encouraged me, and I just want to say, come back anytime, y'all.